All right, sir. What were the circumstances of you landing a co-hosting role for the third annual celebration of LGBTQ cinema and television?
I started the committee,
Right.
back in the day. The first one did the two ceremonies as a programmer and as the chairman. And then the institution of Critics' Choice Association tries to make it fair across the board and let chairman only last a couple of years because they want to have fresh people.
Sure.
And some of them have had problems, but for the LGBT committee, there was not one. They actually really want to be still very involved. So I stepped down to let Andrew, and they kind of let me help decide who would, take over. And so Andrew Floyd did is the chairman now, and he's co-hosting with me. So they just asked me to co-host. That just came over there.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are the highlights for you personally for the show, and who will you be wearing?
Oh, the highlights?
Yeah.
I mean, I just love Hacks so much. To give Hannah an award is a big deal for me.
Yeah.
That show's just on fire. And giving Megan the one last year, she was the highlight of last year.
Right.
She really came out as a character, and now we've seen her do Wild Press. So Hannah's definitely one. Dan Levy, of course, you have to be. Just everyone is a fan of.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy about him. And Tig Notaro I had interviewed on the phone, but I've never met in person.
Nice.
So yeah, those people be the main ones. And I suggested Tig. Tig owes me.
All right. So you've got
what am I going to wear?
Right, I forgot.
I'm kind of on the fence. I mean, I was going to do checkerboard kind of thing. From my 80s and RuPaul's Drag Race. So that will probably be what it is.
Okay.
So,
Do you have a specific label?
it's a luncheon. Oh, I just found a suit. It's a really nice checkerboard suit. Yeah, for lunch. It's a luncheon. So.
All right, great.
Yeah.
You've got a top older celeb in Jane Lynch getting the Groundbreaker Award, and a relatively new influencer in Dan Levy getting the Vanguard. What do you think these two have in common, and what do you think makes them different?
I think they've always been out of the closet. So I would say they've been out with comedy and very popular. Both of them have been really popular and successful in their careers while being proud and open and out. And so I was glad to see, Jane, I have interviewed so many times. I mean, back when, she was just doing, what was that TV show, the waiter one? Like back in the day before she got on, and then Glee, of course, was a huge thing. So, and what was the other part of the question?
I was just saying that, you said what they have in common.
Yeah.
What do you think is distinctly different about them since they're different generations?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I mean, Dan's atmosphere versus Jane's atmosphere?
Yeah. Jane has had a lot of successes in navigating, and also she's got Chicago roots, which is fun.
Yeah.
She's from the Brady Bunch, whenever they were doing that show here, and I've interviewed her at Second City, and she, and doing a successful game show is really because those come and go.
Yep.
And she's done very well with that, and then to see her even grow on screen with like Marvelous Mrs. Maisel and doing some different things like that after Glee has pigeonholed a lot of people, and she did not. She broke out. Now, so he is different because really Schitt's Creek is his claim to fame.
Yeah.
And he's struggled with some of the things after. Now the show that we're doing, that we're honoring, the Netflix show, I think is really good. I think it's a return to has been really funny. It's a more harsh show. His sister's a lot meaner than Ding-a-ling on Schitt's Creek. So it feels like it's a new approach for him, and
Great. In the LGBTQ community, gatherings like this, is there a different atmosphere of trust and laying the guard down for out and proud, or is it just like a regular award show atmosphere?
The LGBT celebration is like, it is a family, it is a chosen family. They dress, I can't tell you how great everyone dresses there. It's like everybody is red carpet. Wow. And everybody is so friendly. People from all different, they tell me what they identify as, they come up and compliment. You know, they don't have to do that. Like, they're just a guest or a friend of a friend, and it really is a celebration of identity and who we are, and it's powerful, and it feels very important, like right now, and with everything going on, and I just...
that goes right into my next question. Given the entrenchment of the current administration, what are the concerns of the community for this third celebration, do you think?
I think it's going to be interesting to see how the speeches go. We're predicting what Hannah might have some interesting things to say.
Yeah.
She always does some interesting speeches.
It's on the hot seat right now.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of stuff going on. I think, you know, it's challenging for everyone. There's actually, you can even be kind of nervous about security or what's going on, or that all of us are there. But, you know, so far we've had a lot of challenges throughout the years. This one is different than the other ones,
Yeah.
I think, already. I think it's just a more dire time, and especially for the trans community, it's just really... And so we're all lifting each other up and being ourselves, and I think, and just being outspoken. And I made sure from the beginning that they needed to be openly queer. They could not be somebody in the closet. They couldn't be an ally. I didn't want any of that. I wanted I want representation, and it's all there. It'll all be there.
So, obviously, you've been in touch with Andrew Freud, and how do you envision you guys splitting duties? And are you going to do jokes and usual hosting banter?
It's not that kind of, you know, thing. It is going to be, we're doing like an intro and talking a little bit about it, and then we launch into all the speeches and people, and it's a tight hour and 15 minutes. That's what we're trying to keep it as.
Great.
And so the other committee members are introducing different people. So we'll see how it goes, you know. And then we have an after party that's going to be there. Latin Nation is a sponsor, and they're going to have a blast in the Four Seasons. So yeah.
Final question. If you had a time machine, at what point in your life would you have liked someone to say it gets better, number one? And what advice would you personally give your younger self to make sure he would believe it's getting better and believe that you would become a major voice in the community? So it's a two-part question.
Yeah, that's a lot to think about. So I would definitely say in junior high in Tennessee with a bully, you know, punching me every day when I was there to learn, you know. And that one day I would talk to him and confront him, and he would be the one that backs down. I would have never thought that would happen, and that he actually feels bad for all of that. And so confronting him was important, and I'd never thought that would happen. You know, when you're a little kid, you don't think that one day that would happen.
Right.
So it did get better, but it took me moving away from Tennessee to make my own life. And I really came out of the closet to my family after I got to Chicago.
Interesting. Now, what advice would you give your younger self to make that person believe it will get better?
Yeah.
If you could have a time machine and talk to them.
I guess just to celebrate the things that made me different, you know, because I wanted to fit in, right? You want to fit in when you're young, but the things that are different are the best things about you, and I think that you know, I embrace all that stuff, from my last name to being adopted, you know, all of these things that make me who I am, and being gay was such a negative thing back then, and now, you know, I'm proud of it. I don't really care anymore. I mean, I care, but, you know, I'm proud of who I am.
This is Patrick McDonald for HollywoodChicago.com. Copyright 2026.